Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session, coordination the linking system, part 5. So far we have been discussing about the human nervous system, how does it works. We completed the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and even autonomous nervous system we have discussed. So autonomous nervous system divided into two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So in this video we are going to discuss more about how the chemical coordination occurs in other ways. Okay, so before going to that, a brief discussion regarding the difference between voluntary actions and involuntary actions. Voluntary actions, what are voluntary actions? The actions which are under our control or under the will, whereas involuntary actions, the actions are not under one's control or will. Voluntary actions may or may not involve the information from receptors or sense organs, whereas the involuntary actions are involuntary actions are in response to information received from receptors or sense organs. Okay, what are the sense organs? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin. These are all the sense organs, 5 main sense organs. Okay, whereas in voluntary action, the voluntary action impulse originates in the brain, whereas involuntary action, the impulse originates in receptors or sense organs. Voluntary actions involves brain, motor nerve fibers and effector organs like muscles, whereas involuntary action involves receptors, sensory nerves, interneuron or associated neuron, motor nerve fibers and effector organs. Okay, so the reflex actions are examples of involuntary actions. Okay, so several scientists conducted experiments on these reflexes. There are two types of reflexes, conditioned and unconditioned reflexes. Unconditioned reflexes are inborn reflexes by birth. Okay, and these inborn reflexes, unconditioned reflexes, are transmitted to the next generations from parents to offspring. Example, suckling of mother's breast by a newborn baby, swallowing, blinking of eyes when an object is brought very close to the eyes. These are all inborn reflexes. Whereas conditioned reflexes, these are learned responses to stimuli acquired individually during the lifetime of an organism. The conditioned reflexes are changeable and easily induced or lost depending on the environmental conditions. Conditioned reflexes are controlled by the cerebral cortex. Okay, what is a reflex action? A reflex action is a rapid autonomic response, involuntary response to a stimulus. The nerve pathway involved in the reflex action is called a reflex arc. Okay, so it involves the 5 major components: stimulus, receptor, sensory neuron, motor neuron. Okay, sensory neuron and motor neuron together called associated neuron, and an effector organ. These 5 components together called as reflex arc, the structure and functional unit which carry out reflex actions. Okay children, so let us proceed to today's class, continuation of yesterday, that is other chemical coordinators. Other chemical coordinators. Okay, the evidence that Events occurring in one part of the body could be affected and indeed controlled by substances circulating in the blood. It was now overwhelming. Okay, there are evidences. In 1905, the English physiologist by name Sterling had coined the term hormone, an important chemical substances which are released in the living organisms. So the term hormone was coined by Sterling, a physiologist. In Greek, hormo means to impel. For such secretions, the glands secreting hormones are termed ductless glands. They are termed as ductless glands, since they have no tube or duct to carry away their products, which pass straight into the blood. Okay, as they are ductless glands, what happens? Their secretions are directly released into the blood. In this way, they different from glands such as liver and pancreas, whose secretions pass through ducts which are connected to other organs. Okay, the secretion of liver, bile, we have studied in the nutrition. Liver secretes bile juice. Bile juice enters into the duodenum through bile duct. Pancreatic juice from pancreas enters into the duodenum through pancreatic duct. Okay. The human body contains many other ductless glands. They are called endocrine glands. The glands do not produce their hormones at a steady rate. The adrenal gland, for example, normally has low output. So other chemical coordinators. So what will you do if a dog is after you? What will be your first reaction? Have you ever observed any change in your body when you are afraid? Nobody wants to fight with a dog, isn't it? The first thing we do is running away from the situation, running away from the place. Try to note the body language of humans, animals, when they are fighting, scared. You try to observe. If we observe our body when we are afraid, the rate of heartbeat increases. This is the first indication. The breath rate will be faster. The blood pressure is high. The blood pressure increases. The hair on the body becomes erect. And we get goosebumps. Isn't it? So here cockfight you observe. Both cocks, they are fighting each other. They raise their feathers near the neck. They raise their legs, fighting each other. So other chemical coordinators, let us see. The other things we might not observe, the pupil dilation, skin becomes more sensitive, and rarely the bladder and the rectum may be emptied. Okay, we come to normal state only after we reach a safe spot. We have already studied about the nerve coordination. When nerves carry stimuli from sense organs to central nervous system and orders to affect our organs, the muscles. Okay, we already studied the coordination system. But in the above situations, the action of nervous system is limited. Nervous system doesn't respond. All the changes in the body are carried out under the influence of chemical. It's a chemical coordination. What is that chemical? Adrenaline hormone. Adrenaline hormone. It is released by the adrenal gland, which is an endocrine gland. Okay. So this hormone is also called as a fight or flight hormone. When the organism is strong enough, it will fight. When the organism is weak, it try to escape from the situation. So the various actions of the body are controlled by hormones and coordinated by nervous system. So chemical coordinators, chemical control and coordination it is called. So in this type of conditions, nervous system and endocrine system work together to bring about the control and coordination. Okay, why adrenaline hormone is also called fight or flight hormone? The whole system of ductless glands is called the endocrine system. The information about a few of the endocrine glands is given in the form of one table. We are discussing. So why adrenaline hormone is also called a fight or flight hormone? Because this hormone will prepares the body to fight in the tough situations, to face the tough situations, emotions. So that's why it is called fight or flight hormone. Try to make the list of functions that you think are controlled both by the nervous and endocrine system. So here a table is given where the different functions of endocrine glands. The pituitary gland, so where it is located? It is located on the floor of brain, and the hormones secreted by pituitary gland, they are called pituitary hormones, like somatotropin or growth hormone. It helps in the growth of bones. Thyrotropin, it is a thyroid stimulating hormone, it is also called TSH. The activity of thyroid gland is under the control of this hormone, pituitary hormone, TSH. Then gonadotropin hormone, GSH. Okay, so it controls the activity of ovary and testis, female and male gonads. And adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, is another hormone, pituitary hormone. It stimulates the secretion of adrenal cortex. Luteinizing hormone, LH, it is also secreted by the pituitary gland, and it influences in males the secretion of testosterone, secondary hormone, and in the female the ovulation, the development of corpus luteum, and the secretion of progesterone is under the influence of luteinizing hormone. Another hormone of pituitary, that is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. In males, it influences the production of sperms, spermatogenesis. In females, the growth of Graafian follicles, the secretion of estrogen, and oxytocin and prolactin, means milk production and the delivery. These are the hormones which are secreted by this pituitary gland. Okay, it is present beneath the brain. Next, that's why this pituitary gland influence almost all organs. Hence, this pituitary gland is also called as the master gland of endocrine orchestra. Master gland of the endocrine system. Next, the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland present near neck region or throat region. It produces hormone thyroxine. What is the function? The function of thyroxine is general growth rate and metabolic activity. It controls the metabolism and it also brings about the balanced growth. Okay, this is the thyroid gland which is present in the throat region or the neck region. Next, parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland is present just attached to the thyroid. This here in the image you can see These are parathyroid glands, the dots. There are 4 parathyroid glands are present. So these parathyroid gland, near the thyroid gland, they produce a hormone called parathormone. It controls the calcium balance in the body. Calcium balance in the body. Next, adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is attached to the kidneys, just like cap on the kidneys there. So this adrenal gland produce adrenaline, which prepares the body for emergency. That's why it is called fight or flight hormone. Next, pancreas. The pancreas is a mixed gland which is present below the stomach. It produces 2 important hormones, insulin and glucagon. So insulin controls the glucose level of the blood, and glucagon, when the glucose level is reduced in the blood, it acts on the liver, muscles, and converts the stored glycogen into glucose. Okay. Next, gonads. Testis. The testis present in the scrotal sacs, and it produces the hormone testosterone. So growth of hair on the face, muscular development, deepening of voice, normal sexual behavior, and the development of male sex organs. It controls the growth and development of the male reproductive system and secondary sexual characters in male. Ovaries. Ovaries are present in the lower abdomen, and they produce 2 important hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Okay, the growth of uterus and the skeleton of pelvis, control of the 28 days menstrual cycle in the females is under the influence of these hormones, and it controls the growth and development of the female reproductive system and female secondary sexual characters. Okay. So these are the some of the endocrine glands, endocrine system in the humans, okay, and their influence. So feedback mechanism. Next, the important concept, feedback mechanism. Recall the fight or flight behavior of cat and dog. When you observe a cat and dog fight, see how the cat hairs are rising here. The dog also, it opens its mouth differently, keeping all its teeth outside, okay, and making that cat all the hairs, especially the tail hairs, will excite, okay, ears will go back. You see, the amount of adrenaline hormone increases in the blood sharply in a frightening situation, getting anger or excited. The anger is always a short-lived factor. You know that the increased levels of adrenaline are responsible for anger. Okay. So actually, have you ever observed the duration of anger? And why does the anger come down? What may happen if the anger persists for a long period? Okay. So anger is always a short-lived factor. Okay. You know that the increased levels of adrenaline are responsible for the anger. And when the levels of adrenaline in the blood come down slowly, we come to normal state. Okay. If the adrenaline levels persist for a long period of time, the regular metabolic activities are disturbed. Okay. So increase in adrenaline levels leads to anger. Decrease in adrenaline levels leads to normal position. Okay. So that's why this anger is a temporary. Controlling the anger is emotional control, okay, which is very important. to lead a successful life. What will happen if it is continued for long periods of time? If the anger is continued for longer period of time, what happen? It will lead to hypertension. It will lead to some physiological disorders. Okay. Similarly, the sugar levels in the blood rise than normal levels. They are detected by the cells of pancreas, which respond by producing more insulin into the blood. If the sugar levels come back to normal level, the secretion of insulin is automatically reduced. It is under the control of autonomous nervous system. So it is necessary that the hormones are secreted by the glands in our body in precise quantities, which are required for the normal functioning of the body. So this means that there should be some mechanism to regulate the production and release of hormones in the body. The timing and the amount of hormones released by endocrine glands is controlled by the feedback mechanism, which is inbuilt, inborn instinct in our body. Okay. So none of the systems, whether the nervous or chemical, are totally exclusive of each other. Okay, they depend on each other. Sometimes nervous control, sometimes chemical control, sometimes both nervous and chemical control work together. That's why it is called control and coordination. Okay, children, once again let us briefly reveal the autonomous nervous system. You know that the medulla oblongata is the region that regulates heartbeat, breathing, etc. The system that helps to bring out such activities of internal organs is called autonomous nervous system. Normally, such involuntary activities take place by the coordinated efforts of the medulla oblongata and autonomous nervous system. Almost all organs in the body are influenced or associated with this autonomous nervous system. That's why nervous system is of how many divisions? 3 main divisions: CNS, PNS, ANS. CNS, central nervous system, main. Then PNS, it includes the nerves produced from brain and spinal cord, peripheral nervous system, and autonomous nervous system, which is divided into 2 parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic, which is spreading on the either side of the spinal cord from the ventral side. Okay. See, almost all organs, eyes, salivary glands, lungs, heart, blood vessels, stomach or intestine, okay, urinary bladder, gonads, these are all under the influence of this autonomous nervous system. Okay. So to which organs of the body do the nerves go from ganglions near the vertebral column? Almost all organs. What are the organs that receives the nerves starting from the brain? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, which are nearby. Which are the organs whose activities are influenced by the sympathetic nervous system? All these organs. Which are the organs whose activities are influenced by the parasympathetic nervous system? All these organs. What do you understand about the functions of parasympathetic nervous system? What do you understand about the functions of sympathetic nervous system? Okay, the ganglion near the vertebral column are connected to the spinal cord by nerves here. The ganglions. Means what is a ganglion? The group of nerves. Okay, the sympathetic system is formed by a chain of ganglions on either side of the vertebral column, and the associated nerves. The parasympathetic nervous system is formed by the nerves arising from the ganglions of brain and the posterior part of the spinal cord. Here the brain and posterior part of the spinal cord. This is parasympathetic. This is sympathetic. Left hand side sympathetic, right hand side parasympathetic. These two together constitute the autonomous nervous system. It is a part of peripheral nervous system consisting of 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Okay. So this is in this way this autonomous nervous system will the sympathetic nervous system will enhance certain vital activities which are suppressed by again the parasympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system increase the activity of certain vital organs, and the sympathetic nervous system will suppress or slow down the certain vital activities. Like this, both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, okay, they coordinate and they act equal and opposite, and helps in the balanced function of different organs present in the body. Okay, all the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomous nervous system, okay, they coordinate with each other and controls the functions of the body. Okay, I hope you understood. Please read the textbook. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.